competitive advantage, we must address the broader issues hindering our appeal. A balance must be considered between generating revenues and providing a quality visitor experience. Next question from MP Duran. Back in the day, it was said that they would pay Union Road and then it would be point blanche, but nothing is happening. I'm assuming this is between the port and the Ministry of TIAT, and are they assisting, and how will they contribute to the infrastructure? Any updates on that between the port and Ministry of TIAT? Thank you, MP Duran, for that question regarding the port's role and contribution to the infrastructure updates, specifically in Point Blanche area and related to the cruise and cargo sectors. It is important to note that the Port of St. Maarten, as a key strategic asset, has continuously invested in infrastructure developments that support both the tourism, cruise, and logistics cargo sector, while vital to the country's economy. The port's strategic plan recognizes the need to enhance St. Maarten's appeal as both a tourism destination and a logistic hub, all while ensuring that growth remains sustainable and within the carrying capacity of the island. These goals are aligned with the national vision for balanced and environmentally conscious development. Key points on beautifications and infrastructure efforts, such as the ongoing beautification and infrastructure project, the beautification efforts at Battery Point, along with the Point Blanche roads, are part of the broader initiative to enhance the visitor experience. These efforts contribute to the area's aesthetic appeal as it serves as a gateway for cruise passengers, significantly improving the first impression visitors have for St. Maarten. Point Blanche Road is also critical for cargo operations, and as such, the port continues to partner with relevant stakeholders, including government agencies, to address infrastructure needs in this area. The port has been actively investing in infrastructure projects such as the Cruise Pier South and ongoing cargo repairs, which are set to continue for the remainder of 2024. These repairs necessary to maintain the port's operational efficiency, especially in light of the growing demand for both cargo and cruise services. The port's strategic investment include plans to address long-term infrastructure upgrades, ensuring that St. Maarten remains competitive in the region, and these include assessing and improving pier capacity, terminal facilities, and supporting road networks. The port's strategy aligns with the need to manage St. Maarten's growth in a sustainable manner. This means taking into consideration the carrying capacity of their infrastructure, roads, roads, utilities, and environmental resources to ensure that our cruise and cargo section can grow without negatively impacting the island's residents and natural environment. The discussion on comprehensive infrastructure improvements are ongoing and are being done in partnership with the Ministry of TIAT, other government bodies, and private stakeholders. The goal is to balance growth while maintaining quality of life for the residents and preserving the island's natural beauty. Coordination with government. While in the past, the partnership has been different, the port's current role focuses on partnering with government for a wider infrastructure initiative. This includes contributing to the overall development through joint projects and public-private partnership. TIAT continues to coordinate efforts with the port and other stakeholders to ensure that necessary infrastructure updates, such as road improvement in key areas like Union Road and Point Blanche, are addressed within the country's broader development framework. In a nutshell, the port remains committed to supporting St. Maarten's infrastructure growth, with specific focus on projects that directly enhances the cruise and cargo sector. These initiatives are part of a long-term strategy to improve the island's appeal and functionality, ensuring that infrastructure development keeps pace with economic growth while safeguarding environment and local communities. I move on to questions posed by MP La Cruz. The Tourism Marketing Initiative, 2.5 million guilders to 2.4 million. So what activities were or will be taken away from this reduction? Not seeing it in the budget. For instance, they had plans to do marketing in the Caribbean and Guyana, and now they decided that the company doing marketing in the Caribbean to do marketing in Guyana. Through you, Madam Chair, Lady, this question for me is not clear. If maybe in the clarification around MP La Cruz could maybe specify that 100,000 guineas cut, exactly what he means by that question. I'm not sure how to answer it. Where are the funds of Carnival and the payment, and where is it reflected? SCDF did not submit a subsidy request for 2024, but as many of you know, the Carnival Foundation faced unforeseen circumstances this year that led to organizers pulling out unexpectedly. However, to ensure that Carnival can still go on and continue to be a central part of our cultural heritage, the foundation reached out to the government through a calm decision, and then through a calm decision decided to support them with 200,000 guilders through the budget post 80040 festivals. It was taken from there today, this year. Then I move over to questions by MP Arian. Has Minister of Finance, had any discussion with Minister of TIAT, Mr. Medium and Mr. Blackman regarding the idea and concept with the refinancing of the COVID-19 loans? No, we have not. Nowhere in the budget do we see transaction tax taking up the Hail Mary of ideas. Where is it reflected and will it be taken up? While I remain supportive of the transitioning to transaction tax, it is important to acknowledge that given the challenges we face this year, including the inadequacies of the 2024 budget, forcing major cuts, as well as the disruption caused by the fall of government, its introduction was not feasible. As we continue to strengthen our economy and modernize our tax system, we will explore the potential benefits and drawbacks of the transaction tax to determine if it aligns with our long-term goals. MP Arian stated that the acting Minister of TIAT issued a issue of lottery booths and the regulation of lottery booths policies and legislations to pay their fair share. Where is that now? And I don't see it in the budget, and I'm not seeing it in the toelichting, the explanatory notes, and it's not budgeted. So the national decree containing general measures is currently at the governor for his approval. Are all the lottery booths legal, and how many legally established lottery booths do we have? The ministry, as previously stated, prepared draft legislation to establish a regulated process for lottery permit holders to establish lottery booths. The last lottery booth count was approximately 102, and this was in August of 2023. What is the forecasted income that will be generated? Given the approximate amount of lottery booths, as mentioned above, we are estimated about 22,000 per month or 264,000 annually. Regarding the fees for the inspection of small animals, I'm hoping that this is the question that were brought forward. Given that the legislation is outdated, where is the legislation currently? So with respect to the charging of fees for the movement of small animals to and through St. Maarten, the ministry has finalized its study on the potential revenue generating opportunity. This information has been placed on the list of priorities for legislation changes for 2025. MP Roseberg had no questions. We move now over to questions by MP Myers. What incentives are offered to investors, local or foreign? Is there a package that the government offers? The Ministry of TIAT in December of 2022 has published its investment and diversification strategy, the policy document. Said document refers to the need to provide incentives for investors, both foreign and local, that will have an impactful return on investment. We will continue on an interministerial level to develop such, and will surely present and publish once completed. This policy I can share with the MP, should the MP wish to have a copy of it. I see a nod through you, Madam Chair Lady. Then I move over to questions. I think MP Kotai had questions about beachside, but I think it was more related to Vrami. And then I move now over to a question posed by MP Brug. And he had a general question, to each ministry, what projects or services will be affected by the cuts? So the cuts on the TIAT, we can start on the staff bureau, external personnel, training and courses. Under the Department of Economic Affairs, Traffic and Telecommunications, we have books and subscription, oil gram price report, the projects and activities, diversification study, national economic development plan, and public transportation assessment. Then under the MET department, meteorology department, external personnel, various specific goods, contributions and membership. Under the licenses department, we also have external personnel. Under statistics department, general statistical research, specific statistical research. Under civil aviation and maritime, we have training and courses. We have external personnel, an air, sea, and transport lawyer. Then under the Tourist Bureau, we have product development, online travel agent, and internal personnel, marketing staff, active personnel, which was cut to 0 months, and market research. Then on the semi-project NGO organization, Tourism Bureau subsidy, Heineken Regatta, and sports tourism. Then I move over to questions by MP York. I think MP York gave an idea to give operational license to the locations and not solely to, I think MP York suggested to give operational license to locations and not solely operational business, the solely operator business. So while we understand the idea suggested by MP, legally all businesses are not required to have operational license, and the law does not support that. I don't know if that's clear. If anything, through you, Madam Chair Lady, could maybe ask more questions to that. Then I move over to the last MP, which is MP Westcott Williams. Lottery booths, an ordinance containing general measurements was established by government, and one was established for lottery permit booths in branches. However, the general decree, the LBHAM, the implementation of such was left for the government, been left for them to be done. When is the national decree going into effect? The national decree in question is currently at the governor, and at this point, we cannot say when it will go into effect. Next question posed by MP Westcott Williams. The vendors allowing MSMEs to exist and to be done in a nice and organized manner. What is the status of Chamber of Commerce plans and how is it being coordinated? The Chamber of Commerce is still in the planning phase in regard to this development, and they intend to continue moving steadfast to ensure completion. An agreement already exists with current vendors. There in regard to the use of the property. The Ministry of TIAT continues to work alongside the Ministry of RAMI to address aesthetic and spatial development to ensure there is a uniformity and standards to further enhance our product on the island. Has the government taken a good look at the population census and actions needed to be taken due to the results of the census? If so, what actions will need to be taken? That's the final question. The results of the population census was presented to the community. A few of the ministries, and along with the previous Council of Ministers by the Ministry of TIAT, Stats and Stats Department. The major findings were that there is an aging of the population, which we know will have some impacts on the healthcare system. And to this end, the importance of obtaining a general health insurance system is critical. There is some other various key results which will be taken up into priorities of such a relatively low level of education of the population, such as that, and also low birth rates. These matters will be looked into by the organization and discussed with various ministries to ascertain specific synchronization of policies, priorities, and/or projects. One of the challenges that the Department of Statistics faced was personnel, that the project leader of the population census is no longer with the ministry, and the previous department head is presently Minister Viasa. The department is currently in the process of recruiting another senior researcher so that they can continue the project to ensure that government take the critical policy matters into account. This also applies for stakeholders that may equally need this information for sound decision-making on their part. Madam Chair Lady, I now end the questions and answers, and I await any further questions and clarifications. Thank you.
Thank